So our today's topic is AWS Database Services. It is our eighth session for this webinar series powered by ST Innovation. In this session, particularly, we will be focusing more on AWS Database Services, how many services and how these different database services are helping AWS to thrive along with competing with other cloud providers. We all know how important database is for any of our applications, either it is mobile or web or even desktop. There are few use cases where we don't need such database services like single page applications, landing pages. So for those, we are not considering database, but for day-to-day application level usage, how database can be a soul for any application and how powerful it is. We all know that. So yeah. For AWS, this is standard category icon. Here, category means different types of services provided by AWS. In this case, database is a category alongside with computation, storage, other services, machine learning, and other newest services, analytics services. So this is the standard icon for database services in AWS. And this is whenever you design any solution architecture, you can use this icon as a standardized icon to showcase that this is a database storage. But in particular use case like for a particular type of database services, you could use their respective icons as well. Like in this case, here we have Amazon Aurora, which is an RDS support database support, and it is serverless. So you don't need to worry about provisioning servers, sizes, execution time, service limits. You don't need to worry about those things with Aurora. We have DocumentDB, which is MongoDB compatibility. Alongside with it, we have DynamoDB as well, which is a NoSQL database. We all know that. There are other terms based on those newest databases, which are not common in terms of traditional databases. Like for DynamoDB, they have used attributes, items, tables. So those are particularly dedicated to DynamoDB itself. Alongside with these database services, Aurora, DocumentDB, DynamoDB, there are tons of other database services as well, like Keyspace, DynamoDB, Streamlogger, which is not there, database migration service, which is another particular useful service to migrate databases from one cloud provider to another cloud provider. There is Neptune, which is a graph-based database. We will go deep into each of those databases and what particular use case it handles. Quantum Ledger database is also there for transactional types of queries and other operations. We have a core RDS database, which is handling all other relational database services. We have other dedicated VM where also born specifically for RDS supports. Stream is also there. These are particularly for video streaming, audio streaming platforms to store them and make best use of those things. We will get into those in deep. Elasticache is also there. It is another most important and useful services as a database service from AWS. It has other resources alongside with it, like cache node, Elasticache for Redis, Elasticache for Memcache. We know that Redis, Memcache are indexing facilities for any caching mechanism. So those are available for Amazon Elasticache as well. Now let's get deeper. What the use case for those particular different types of databases from Amazon? So if we go for relational database types, we got Aurora, RDS, and Redshift, which are particularly handling traditional application supports, enterprise level resource planning, and even customer relationship management like CMR and other e-commerce platforms, which is traditional. There are different variations for these, like Aurora for serverless supports, Redshift for huge size of databases. Those are dedicated for them. We can get into those things sooner or later. There are some types of key value types of database as well, like DynamoDB, which is mainly responsible for high traffic web applications, e-commerce systems, and gaming applications particularly. If you go for in-memory database services, then there is Elasticache and MemoryDB for Redis. A particular type of document DB, if we go for to store document related databases, we can go for document DB, which has MongoDB compatibility alongside with it, which is useful for content management, catalogs, and user profile management as well. There are other different types of databases, but which is attractive though is this one, graph and ledger. So here, this graph-based database is more important and newly adopted from AWS, which is more useful for detection, social networking platforms, and recommendation engines like e-commerce platform recommendation engines. Amazon Times Team is also important for Internet of Things related applications, DevOps handling, and industrial telemetry like telecommunication sector data handling. These are all very useful for their particular use case. It's nothing like you can use that type of database for your another type of applications. If you want to get the best out of it, you need to select the particular database for your particular use case, and this is really important. This is one of the most favorite slide from my side, because I day-to-day basis I use these most popular databases from AWS, mostly RDS, Aurora, and DynamoDB. These are the core of any software development companies handling day-to-day application development and management. Alongside with that, I would also recommend Amazon Elasticache, which is handy for your different types of caching mechanism, and like session management and other user temporary data management, like their cart data views, and so that they can after their session their cart data is also there available. So these are particularly 4 of them are my favorite ones, and other than these, Neptune, as I said already earlier, these are graph-based database for social networking platforms and others. Quantum Ledger database for transactional, e-commerce based database, application database, document DB, which is MongoDB compatibility. These are all most popular databases from AWS, and we need to select them based on their particular use case. We just can't use them for any of our application. It will not use the best use case for any application. So again, whenever you are designing any solution architecture or design that architecture based on the particular type of database which your application is requiring. Don't just go for any of those database and use that. It will not give you the best out of it. So yeah, this was pretty much it. There was one last slide which includes all the different terminologies for all of those databases. So these terminologies, special services are available for those different types of database. Like for you can use PostgreSQL, MySQL, and even MariaDB in RDS, Aurora, and other types of databases as well. So this is really important to understand what types of services we can get from the existing database services. Like these database services, we can use different types of service database features like MySQL, Aurora, Oracle instances, PostgreSQL, and even MariaDB. So those types of database services we can use for most of those particular database services. So this is really important to make decision whenever you are choosing any database service for your application. And there is some cost effectiveness. Side of story is to manage your cost for application. So it is really important to choose a particular perfect types of database for your application to minimize the cost and enhance the user experience for your application. So I think this is it. This was quite short session because it was nothing like database. We can have some kind of hands-on. It requires a long planning and longer period of time to demonstrate something like this. But again, it was information-based session so that we can get to know the available Amazon database services and make best decision while designing our solution architect based on our use cases. So I think this is pretty much it from my side. If you have anything, you can just shoot me.